Robert, there's no doubt your book is coming out after some real turbulent times in the country. The time-honored way of investing in stocks and bonds as the only asset class is being tested right now. There's no secret you've been a huge proponent of real estate investing and utilizing debt. How accessible really is real estate investing to the average Joe investor that wants to get away from the mainstream?
It's always the same thing, is that real estate is the best investment of all. There's two reasons why real estate is the best investment, time-honored, but you got to be smart at it. The number one reason for real estate is debt. Who else is going to give you money to buy? They don't give you money to start a business, so they don't give you money to invest in oil, but they give you money to buy real estate. So debt is the key. So as I cover in my book, Second Chance, debt makes the rich richer. And secondly, taxes make the rich richer. So when I buy real estate, it is the last investment where I can make millions of dollars and pay zero tax legally. So the irony of it is these guys who are investing in the stock market, they don't really have any advantages for debt, some little bit, and they have no real tax advantages. That's stupid. So I don't care what you say about good markets or bad markets, good real estate, bad real estate. Real estate is the last great investment. Number one for debt, number two for taxes.
Robert, you see a lot of people investing for equity gain, capital gain in the stock market. Cash flow seems like almost an archaic word these days, but it's so simple. Can you explain the basic concept of cash flow in relation to an asset?
Sure. Again, going back to taxes, because you find most of your answers in tax law. So there's three basic types of income. There's ordinary income, there's portfolio income, and there's passive income. Passive income is cash flow. Portfolio income is called capital gains. So if I buy a stock for $10 and I sell it for $20, I have a capital gains. If I buy a property and I flip the property, that's capital gains. Those are taxed events. Cash flow can be a zero tax event. So that's why I love cash flow. I very rarely sell properties. I don't flip properties because I pay tax. My whole purpose for investing in real estate is this board game here, cash flow, and paying zero taxes.
Why is it that you always see successful real estate investors like yourself, the big boys, so to speak, utilizing leverage? But all these small mom and pops it's so prevalent for them to use cash to purchase real estate.
Well, cash is for people who really do not know what they're doing, because when you use debt, you're playing with a loaded pistol. So when you use debt, you've really got to be a lot smarter. So if you're not smart, pay cash. That's pretty simple, right? But in 1973, when I came back from the Vietnam War, the first thing my rich dad advised me to do was take a real estate investment course so I could learn to use debt to get rich. So debt is the best leverage of all because it's tax-free leverage. But you have to be smart using it.
Robert, one big thing I took away from an old conversation we had is a statement you made. And it's always stuck with me. I think this is fundamentally the most important thing I've ever heard about real estate. You said, and I quote, "Real estate is a long-term management and finance proposition." That's it. Can you explain why that's so fundamentally important?
Well, key word in there is management. The trouble with real estate is you really have to be kind of a manager. You have to manage the property. And that's why most people check out. They don't want to do that. You see, the average person is working for income, ordinary income. The people that pay the highest taxes are employees, the self-employed, savers, and 401kers. That's why the middle class is suffering today. They pay ordinary income. Why would you do that? Tax laws are written for everybody, rich or poor, right? They can't say, oh, only the rich can use this law. No, it's available to everybody. But if you don't have the education or the know-how or the skill set, then you actually cheat yourself out of, great wealth.
Everyone says finding good real estate is hard when you're getting started. What's the value of good network and good partnerships?
Well, I'll say it again. In 1973, I came back from Vietnam, and I was a pilot out there. And I took a real estate course. It was $385, 3 days long. And that was a lot of money back then. I was only making $500 a month, so $385 was all I had. And the instructor at the end of the program said to me, he said, what did the whole class of about 30 of us, he says, your education begins now that you leave the class. You didn't get educated while the class. So his assignment was that everybody, 30 of us, we had to pair up in teams, get up in teams, two or three at a team, and we had to look at 100 properties in 90 days. And he says, don't buy anything, just look at 100 properties, do your evaluation of each property, write a short blurb about it, why it's good, why it's bad. And it's at the end of 90 days and 100 properties, then you make up your mind if you're going to buy something. He says, if you haven't found one property in 100 deals, you start again. You start again with another 100. And that's why most people are not rich, is they're not willing to go through that process of looking at 100 deals to find one deal. And there's sometimes, and you and I know, you look at a lot of frogs to find one princess. But when you find that one princess, everybody goes, oh, well, how do you get so lucky? Well, I looked at a lot of dirt dogs out there, Mm-hmm. And that's like anything in life. You don't marry the first man or woman you meet. Hopefully you kiss a couple of them, before you do.
What's more valuable source of education, Robert? Mentorship or failure?
I think that both are very valuable. The reason I say that is the average person doesn't have a mentor, and they don't value mentorship. So like I said, my rich dad was my mentor. And the second thing that happens is people are so afraid of making mistakes, they never fail. And if you look at how a child learns to walk, a child stands up, falls down, stands up, falls down, stands up, falls down. That's how we are designed to learn. And human beings learn by making mistakes.
So if I lose $5,000 on my first real estate transaction, would you consider that tuition?
Yeah, and I'll also say that I've never lost money in real estate.
Or a tax break?
Yeah, I have never lost money in real estate. The reason is I take classes, I study constantly, I hang out with smart people, and I look at my 100 properties. We analyze, we're very careful. But if you hang out with your brother-in-law who's an idiot, who's never bought real estate, and he's a communist and a socialist at heart, and teaches at the junior college, you'll probably be unsuccessful.
Well, that's a good note to end it on. We appreciate you coming out.
Thank you. Thanks for your support.
Definitely.